You know those people on Facebook that you don't even know that try to add you? Well, let's just say I'm one of those people. It all started about a year ago, I think, but I can't really remember since a lot of things have happened since then. Let's just start at the beginning. I never really had any intentions to join Facebook. I was a first class loner and seldom had any friends. I didn't want to humiliate myself by letting the whole world know how much of a loser I was, but I was persuaded after hearing everyone talk about it. Not to me, of course, but rather around me. Just loud enough for me to be able to hear. I hate how no one ever talked to me. It was like I didn't even exist or something. Like my very existence meant nothing to those fuckers. I was tired of being a complete outcast, so I decided to create my very own Facebook. It was scary at first, letting the entire world know what I was doing. I was basically giving up my privacy and freedom to try to finally fit in. The irony of the whole thing was that I was afraid of letting stalkers and serial killers know what I was up to, but I'll get to why that statement turned out to be ironic later. Anywho, that first Facebook seemed very foreign to me. I had zero messages, zero notifications, zero friend invites. It was just like in the real world, only this time the whole world could see it. But regardless, I worked up the courage and started exploring the site. I still remember the first thing I did when I started using it. I remember it so clearly, the game about the fishes. You know that game, right? The game was my favorite. I used to spend hours on it. I would buy countless fishes and then not feed them to watch them die. Watching the fishes die was so much fun. I would have probably stayed there forever if not for that friend request. I couldn't believe it. Somebody wanted to be my friend. I eagerly clicked accept. It was the best feeling that I could ever describe. So here's where my story begins. After I clicked on his profile, I saw what Facebook was really all about. He had countless statuses, all with at least 5 likes each. I so wanted that, so I began to snoop in his friends list, and I added every single person that he was friends with. It took about 5 hours to do it, but it was worth it. Before long, my page had grown from one friend to nearly 12, and of those friends who accepted, I knew absolutely nothing about them. But because I was friends with them on Facebook, I learned everything. I passed the first 2 weeks adding all the people who my friends knew, and once they became my friends, I added everyone that they knew. Yes, my popularity was growing. People finally began to know who I was. It was all so wonderful. The kids at my school even started to talk to me. It was insane. Just plain bizarre. I began to fall in love with Facebook. Addicted, if you will. I hated not being on it. The thought of not knowing what everyone was doing or what they were thinking was overwhelming. I hated it. The fucking school hours seemed like spending an eternity in hell, but I spent every single moment that I had free on the site. I began dreaming about using it, and soon enough I stopped dreaming altogether. I developed insomnia, which was great for me because I knew I could spend an infinite amount of time on Facebook, especially since the school year had just ended. It was sweet to be able to spend every single waking moment of my life on Facebook, but spending so much time on it allowed me to also see the dark side of Facebook. There were people on there that wouldn't accept my friend requests. I had sent tens of thousands, and yet still, I only had around 2,000 friends. It was obvious that those people had something against me. Why else would they not want to be friends with me? Yes, why else? There had to be a solution to all of this madness, and it was obvious. Yes, it was also clear then. All I had to do was get rid of them. I still remember my first victim, so innocent. Truly, I had nothing against her. She was so young and beautiful. I still remember those eyes, those piercing black eyes. The thing I remember about her the most, though, was how much she bled and how she screamed. It was a different feeling that I felt then, killing that girl, and I relive it every time I choose a new victim. Come to think of it, I just sent you a friend request. I'd think twice about denying it if I were you. Thank you for listening to today's Creepypasta, and I hope you enjoyed. I do have a podcast called The Murder House Radio Show. Check it out. The link will be in the description below. It is a true crime podcast. But if you did like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. Hit the bell notification when you subscribe and select all to get all notifications whenever I upload. I upload 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday, at least one video a day. Also, go follow all the social medias. They are in the description below. I do have a subreddit called Deadly Narrations. The link will be in the description. Also in the description below is the source to this creepypasta and the music used, so go check those out. Let me know what creepypasta you'd like to hear next, or if you have your own you would like me to narrate. Or if you have a creepypasta series you'd like to hear, send them to me on any of the social medias, in the DMs, or to my email address, which is also in the description. Also in the description below is the author's social medias, if they have any listed. So that's it for today's creepypasta. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time in the Deadly Zone, stay deadly and stay spooky.